This is Hamilton Tiger Cats football on the Ticats Audio Network.
Hey, Tiger Cats fans, getting set for the Hamilton Tiger Cats second last road game of the year in Edmonton to take on the Elks. We are about 13 minutes away from kickoff. RJ Broadhead along with Luke Tasker, and we saw the game last Saturday here at Tim Hortons Field, as I know a lot of Tiger Cats fans did, Luke, and it was a very solid performance. Again, in all aspects, the defense coming up big when they had Jeremiah Masoli had that offense rocking and rolling. And now going into Edmonton, shockingly, the Elks 0-5 at home. That is a really surprising stat. They've never started a season 0-6. So pride will definitely be on the line here for the Elks. But the Tiger Cats, if they just keep playing like they did in the last game, should they not be fine?
I think so, RJ, and it's kind of 2 weeks in a row now, 2 games in a row, I should say now, for the Hamilton offense. Jeremiah Masoli has been over 300 yards and is without an interception. He's going on a nice streak of attempts right now without an interception. Edmonton has been struggling. The 0-5 at home is really just, kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. And they're also, 2-0 on the road, actually. So I don't really know what to make of what's going on with their season right now. They're obviously working some things out. It certainly is a must-win game for them. They absolutely have to win to keep any chance alive at postseason play, and it is slim, of course. The Ticats, on the other hand, are in clawing and scrapping their way to the playoffs with Montreal and Toronto, and this is a great chance for them to come out west. It's never easy to win out west, doesn't matter how bad a team is struggling. I mean, it's 10 p.m. for all of us, players included. It's hard to go out there, and of course.
I was wondering about that. It does make a difference for players.
I'm telling you, this is the longest day to be a Ticat right now. You're away on the road. You're waking up early out in Edmonton, and then you have just such a long time to wait before the game. I've told you before, towards the end of my career, that was my least favorite part of the week, was the hours before a game. And in a day like this, you have more and more hours to wait. And so finally, you're taking the field, and and tonight it's freezing cold in Edmonton. So it is not an easy place to go and win. Does not matter how bad the Elks have been struggling so far, but really a great opportunity to keep the momentum of this season going.
I thought you wanted the hot mic.
Jeremiah Masoli, very excited to see him continue the excellence that he has been playing at these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been awesome. A couple of 300-yard passing games, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions over those last 2 games. Pretty interesting when you look at the statistics. In the 5 wins, Hamilton has not thrown an interception. In their 5 losses, all of their interceptions have been thrown, which is 5 interceptions, which incidentally is the fewest in the CFL. So they've been able to protect the ball, especially of late. 5 straight games without an interception. You mentioned about how every game is important for the Tiger Cats, and I was wondering that after we taped Ticats this week leading into this Ticats Elks game. What did you like as a player? Did you like Winnipeg situation where you had the division wrapped up, you could rest guys, maybe the intensity goes down a little bit, you have to ramp it up again come playoff time? Or do you like the situation the Tiger Cats are in where there's no time to have a letdown? You have to keep that level high right through if you want to make the playoffs and make an impact in the playoffs.
You know what? Truth be told, I only had the former situation once, and that was 2019, where it was. I mean, I think we had the East locked up with weeks and weeks left to play, and we were dominant in the regular season that year, the best regular season in Ticats history. So there were some things that was in that year. Winning was kind of came easily. It was very much so expected by us in the locker room, by the coaches, and by the fans. I mean, it was really. We had a momentum that year that was unbelievable, and then of course fell short in the Grey Cup. I had many more experiences scrapping and clawing to the end, and I think that there is some excitement there and some valuable energy that you can carry into the playoffs in years like that. I always remember, and I talk about frequently in our podcasts when it's applicable, but that 2014 season for the Ticats, everything was still possible going into the very last game of the season. We could have been out and we could have been in first. And that is when you win a game like that, you go into the playoffs with a energy and an excitement that is really, really unique. And then, of course, I had years where there was math problems too to figure out, right? Like,
yes.
you need.
Well, we might have that in the East Division.
Absolutely. You need Toronto to beat Montreal by 2 or more, and then and then you'll be something weird like that. So, I could see that happening as we close in on in these regular season games. But more important than any of that, honestly, and it's the classic story of football, is which teams can be healthiest at the end of the season, because the Ticats are playing their best, hands down, no doubt about it. This is some of the production that we've been waiting for, is what we're seeing now. But you've got to get some guys back. You're hopefully going to get some guys back, and you've got to avoid key players getting nicked up in these last games as you're still fighting and clawing your way to first in the East.
We're just under 7 minutes to kick off in Edmonton. 4 games remaining for the Tiger Cats. They only have 1 left against an East Division team. That'll be the second last game of the season in Toronto, and that's shaping up to be a very important one. Of course, Montreal and Toronto can clinch playoff spots with victories tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. A couple of things to keep an eye on tonight. Simone Lawrence, he's climbing up the record books in the top 20 all-time in tackles. He's 1 away from passing his head coach, Orlando Steinauer, and probably Coach O would be the happiest guy in the field if Simone Lawrence did it. He's such a team guy, so he'll have a smile on his face. And Brandon Banks, couple of receptions to pass Darren Flutie for 5th all-time. I know we talked about this on Ticats this week. You're 3rd all-time on the receptions list for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, so that's not an easy group to be in. And Brandon Banks, you played with him. You mentioned it when we did Ticats this week that you expect him to have a big game.
I could see that happening. It's kind of been, how interesting is it that we're this far into the CFL season and the Ticats don't have a 100-yard yards reception for any receiver once in a game. That's really unique. Last year, 2019, Brandon Banks probably had it in more than half the games, it seemed like.
He was over 200 yards at least in one game.
That's right. Montreal, I think it was in 2019. But like I've been saying it this whole year, I don't think that Speedy B is – there's nothing missing other than the statistics. He's ready to be that, and I will say that this last game I think was probably Speedy B, the most mistakes that he's made in a game was this last week, and of course the dropped touchdown pass from Dane Evans. Always better to learn and to make those mistakes when you win by 28 points or in a game like what was last week against Ottawa. I do expect then this last month of the season we could see Speedy B's involvement in the offense increase.
Well, we know he's going to be returning kicks again, and Coach O was asked about it, and Frankie Williams being out. It's a good answer by Coach O, as most are, saying it's a Hall of Fame returner in Brandon Banks, so not a bad option to have back there, and we'll see if he can put the Tiger Cats in good field position. Trying to get above 500 for the second time this year. They haven't won 3 games in a row this season, trying to win back-to-back for the 3rd time, and this is the important time of the year to do it. When you're in the situation like the Tiger Cats, doing the trip to Edmonton, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Second last road trip, does it just up the intensity? Time's running out to
the coin we're using for tonight
make things happen.
Has the CFL logo,
does.
which is heads.
I also think there's a little bit of a
and
sigh
the
of relief
LCF logo, which is tails.
Nearing
Hamilton,
the end
you are
of
the visiting club.
these road
what
games.
Is your call?
They still have a few
Heads,
home games to play
heads
this year.
Is the call. Hamilton is called heads.
And they're closing in on just things being
tail.
solidified. The future is going to become clear very quickly
half?
here. What I expect to see tonight is the same amount of control that we saw from the Hamilton offense in the last 2 weeks. They have done a fantastic job in their turnover ratio this year. 11, they're plus 11 in their turnover ratio compared to Edmonton's minus 17. That is an unbelievably telling stat. It is hard to be a winning team and to be turning the ball over as much as Edmonton is. Hamilton, even through all the weeks of changing quarterbacks and injuries, and Jeremiah Masoli was out, Dane Evans in and then out, they did a good job of overall not turning the ball over. I think that needs to be a focus tonight and moving forward.
Part of Edmonton's problem in that ratio is they just haven't had many takeaways. 7 all season. Fewest interceptions, just 4 interceptions all season long. So if Jeremiah Masoli can be good with the football as he has been the last few games, don't turn the ball over, it's a good sign for the Tiger Cats. Simone Lawrence started his career, as did Jeremiah Masoli, with the Edmonton franchise, and Louis asked Simone Lawrence if there's any sentimentality going back to Edmonton, and he just said no. Typical Simone Lawrence. I go back to that game against Ottawa when Duck Hodges got tackled and went to high-five Simone, and Simone looked at him, and then after the game went to him. So almost while the game is on, we're not friends, but when the game is over, then we can be friends. But
yeah, Simone is all Hamilton, man.
Yeah.
Can you picture a player
the second half of our Friday night football doubleheader coming at you
more
from
Hamilton than Simone Lawrence? I mean, it's hard to see that, and I imagine that the weeks in Edmonton that he spent are a blip on the radar at this point. But what a valuable trade. It's often mentioned when the Ticats play the Elks. Two players who are still 8 years later. Two of the biggest names on Hamilton, Jeremiah Masoli and Simone Lawrence came together in one package from Edmonton. It's a funny, very, very funny way how these things develop and turn into storylines years and years down the line.
Absolutely, and 2 important players for the Tiger Cats here in 2021. We are about a minute away from kickoff. Jeremiah Masoli has been red hot, picking up his first win of the season. That's maybe the most surprising thing, but got that out of the situation now. It's no longer a topic. Another big game. Chris Van Zyl, just since he's been back on the offensive line, it seems like they've been able to run the ball better, throw the ball better. Things just seem to be clicking with that offense. And by the way, they'll be running with Don Jackson, who has 4 carries this year for 11 yards. So that'll be something to watch what the Tiger Cats do with their running game. Maybe we'll see some of those fly sweeps with the receivers in there. And Tommy Condell, he's good at changing up the offense.
Yeah, I expect we will see a little mix and mash there. And you're absolutely right. Chris Van Zyl being in there does make a huge difference. Now, Dario Sirocco is back in the lineup to start this game. Last week he did have to leave for an upper body injury that he's been dealing with for some time now, but he's back in, and so that front 5 for Hamilton is how they're looking like they were supposed to look, and a good way to start off this battle in Edmonton.
We are set to go at the Brick Field in Edmonton. Elks have lost 5 in a row. Tiger Cats trying to go with back-to-back victories, and Ticats receive Brandon Banks. This is big off the opening kickoff. He's up past the 50. He's to midfield. Now into Edmonton territory, inside the 40, and what a start that is for the Tiger Cats. Huge return by Brandon Banks, 65 yards, but there is a flag on the play.
Don't do it to me. Do not bring this return back. What did I say, RJ?
Yes.
I knew Speedy B would be off to it tonight.
During the return, holding Hamilton, number 43. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Hamilton.
So Jarek Richards called on holding. So they were inside the Edmonton 40, and you talk about this yardage.
This is the hidden yardage of penalties, and it gets me to a dark place in my mind, RJ, when I think about that. This is half the distance to the goal from the point of where the return man caught the ball. This is a 60-yard difference here. Now, hard to say if it was holding, so it is possible that holding sprung the return, but still so damaging.
Tiger Cats starting from their own 8-yard line, but it's a handoff to Don Jackson, and that's his longest run of the year. His previous was 5 yards, and this is plenty. Gets him up past the 20-yard line and a first down for the Tiger Cats.
Fantastic first play, and to get Don Jackson, who's just been in and out of the lineup throughout the season, has not seen much action, but to give him a nice chunk of yardage right off the bat and to get the Ticats breathing room for their own goal line. Huge play there.
Good start. Offensive line gave some room. 4 receivers to the boundary side, and it's another handoff to Don Jackson, and he will have it almost to the 30-yard line before he's brought down.
Yeah, interesting setup there. The Ticats, you're right, put 4 receivers to the short side of the field. Jeremiah's right. But simple, quick handoff again to Don Jackson to that side, the right side of the field there, and another meaningful gain. Second and looks like 4 or 5 yards now.
Three receivers to the wide side this time. Jeremiah Masoli, it's a low snap in the shotgun. Gets away from some pressure. A pass going up the middle. He was trying to connect with Brandon Banks. It's incomplete, and Banks is looking for a flag. It doesn't appear there is one.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. That's Aaron Grimes on the coverage there, a long-time Edmonton staple of their secondary and a very good player. Very quick, and you know what? Jeremiah bought himself enough time, but that was really fantastic coverage there, and ends the drive.
Whitford from his own 15, pretty good kick. This will send the Elks back to their own 30. Terry Williams is then brought down almost immediately. 51-yard punt, 7-yard return for Williams.
You know, last week there was Ticats had 7 penalties last week, and it was a few came at some pretty frustrating times in the game. See what they can fix this tonight, because that penalty on the return game kills me, RJ. That's good for them to flip the field again after the punt.
Edmonton's first possession of the game. Taylor Cornelius, the rookie quarterback, with his 107th pass attempt in his CFL career, was a little bit high and goes incomplete. Hamilton defense, Luke, will be looking for a big game tonight, as they've had so often, especially after holding Ottawa to just 3 points in the last game.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 now to start. Great job on that rush there on first down. Cornelius having to get the ball out very quickly and over the head of Greg Ellingson.
Edmonton on the far hash mark on their own 37, and he somehow threaded the needle to get it to Shai Ross, and it's a first down for Edmonton. They're up close to midfield now.
That was a very impressive throw there. It was actually Jagarrett Davis who had dropped off the line of scrimmage and into the under coverage there, and Taylor Cornelius zipped that right past his hip for a very meaningful gain there. Impressive throw.
Yeah, right by the arm of Jagarrett Davis and Keontae Evans. Cornelius, he'll hand off. We expect to see a lot of James Wilder Jr. as he had a minimal gain. Tiger Cats have been great against the run this year, and maybe he got a yard or 2 on first down.
Across the center field there, they're trying to get lined up in a no huddle situation, but it's not exactly lightning pace here.
Cornelius, 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. Wilder just to his left. It's play action. Wilder stays in the pocket. Pressure's there. Tiger Cats have got to him. Looks like Dylan Wynn gets the quarterback sack, and it'll be a quick 2 and out for the Elks.
Great play by Dylan Wynn there, and that drive was really starting to gain momentum. 2 really successful plays in a row just as they crossed midfield, and that sack will back them up just behind the midfield line now for 3rd and 10, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Tough to score points on the Tiger Cats in the first quarter. They've allowed just 17 all year. That's the 3rd best since 1967. Pretty good numbers. Kick from Hugh O'Neill, and that will send Brandon Banks back into his end zone. It's over his head, rolls into the end zone, and it's a single point for the Elks. So for just the 2nd time this year, the Tiger Cats don't score first.
The single breaks the mark. That's right. 2 very impressive punts so far, 1 in both directions. One from each team there. The Ticats get a chance to a little breathing room on the field position, though, by giving up that single.
Low scoring early, 1-0. Elks lead. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats in Edmonton. R.J. Broadhead along with Luke Tasker. It's 1-0 Elks. Hugh O'Neill on the punt got the single. Jeremiah Masoli back to pass, and it is caught by Tim White, and he battles through a tackle from Aaron Grimes for a few extra yards. He's the Ticats leader in yards after the catch. There is a flag on the play. This is Tiger Cats are indicating it's against the Elks.
Offside. Edmonton number 9. The penalty is declined. Results plays first down.
Yeah, Matthew Betts, it looked like it for me. He had a jump on the snap of the ball there and was a little too early. The Elks brought a heavy rush there, 5 guys, and they brought good pressure, but Jeremiah Mazzoli, plenty of time, and found Tim White on a beautiful pass well across midfield.
27-yard gain on that play. Inside the Edmonton Elks 50. And another handoff to Don Jackson, breaks a tackle. He's inside the 40 before the Elks are able to bring him down. A nice run from Don Jackson. Another first down for the Tiger Cats.
Wow, he looked quick there.
Yes.
Don Jackson got 10 yards just right immediately after he broke the line of scrimmage. Incredible run and a burst to get through the linebacking core of the Elks.
Another handoff to Jackson, and this one a little more difficult. He manages about 2 yards.
I like the call there. They went no huddle and got the ball right back in Don Jackson's hand. He actually left the field. I'm thinking there might be something, a piece of equipment might be out of place or something. He had to get off the field there quickly, but pretty important 2nd and 8 here. This would be a very positive gain if they can get a first down and keep this drive alive.
Hopefully it's just equipment. Enough injuries to the Hamilton running backs. Jeremiah Masoli, 2nd and 8 from the Edmonton 36, throwing to the near sideline, and there's Brandon Banks. You called it, Luke. A big game coming up. That's a big gain. And looks like they'll be at the Edmonton 12.
So that's just classic Speedy, a little sail route to the outside right underneath the high half. I believe it was Steve Dunbar Jr. who had taken the top off of the defense there and cleared out that halfback, and Speedy B just in his element on a sail route to the sidelines.
He looks good. Go back to the opening kickoff. There was a penalty on the play, but it was a huge return for Speedy B. That's a big play. Jeremiah Masoli stays in the pocket, rips the pass. It's Stephen Dunbar Jr. Touchdown, Tiger Cats.
Beautiful catch by Steve Dunbar Jr. and Jeremiah Mazzoli. An absolute dart right to his face mask. Steve Dunbar Jr. ran a curl right underneath the goal line and then just took a step into the end zone to make the score there. Lining up for the field goal now, but Speedy B, the kickoff return, the sail route back to the sidelines. And I'll tell you what, it was smart of him to also take that single on the punt after the Elks drive, because that put the Ticats and broke that spell of bad field position and sprung a nice long drive. Now the Ticats have the lead back in hand.
Yes, that 1-point lead for the Elks didn't last long. Tiger Cats marching down the field, couple of big plays. Masoli efficient again, and Stephen Dunbar Jr. tied for the team lead with 4 touchdowns now. He's had a touchdown in back-to-back games, and what a find he has been for this Hamilton offense. There's a flag thrown.
Watching that touchdown again, though, just pure athleticism. Stephen Dunbar Jr. is able to control a very difficult throw and surrounded by a collapsing gap of Elks defenders.
Offside, Edmonton, number 0. That 5-yard penalty will be applied on the kickoff.
So the flag was for offside on the convert. So Taylor Bertolette still waiting to make this 6-point lead for the Tiger Cats. Edmonton does have 1 block convert this season. Don't see that very often. Looks like they're going to try to block this one too. Bertolette No problem, right down the middle, and it is a 7-1 lead for the Tiger Cats in Edmonton. Their second last road game of the season, trying to make it back-to-back wins, and the offense continues to produce. A touchdown in the first quarter and a Tiger Cats lead, 7-1 in Edmonton. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats go 6 plays for 75 yards for the touchdown. Stephen Dunbar Jr. and throwing the ball, Jeremiah Masoli. Couple of big plays. Tim White, Brandon Banks, Stephen Dunbar. And that Edmonton defense that has been a strong point against the passing game. They've allowed a league low 212.3 yards per game passing, but the Tiger Cats made it look fairly simple. On the return, it's Walter Fletcher, and he'll get up right near the 35. We'll see where they spot it. Might have got to the 36-yard line. 21 yards on that return.
Yeah, pretty good return there. And now the Elks, back to near their 35. It was one of the weaker points of the Ticats' performance last week. Actually, was their coverage. Team. They have been strong throughout the year, but especially one meaningful return. Ottawa got well into the Ticats territory. I do want to say that Jeff Reinbold's going to be hard on his coverage units to get down the field quickly and to win the field position battle throughout the night.
Tiger Cats have averaged 10.6 yards per play. The Elks just 3 yards. It's the rookie quarterback Taylor Cornelius. Where's number 15 for the Eskimos, who have the gold helmets and pants and green tops and yellow numbers. Pass intended for Darrell Walker, and he can't come up with it, so it's another incompletion.
Boy, that's an untimely drop there for the Elks. You're trying to get things rolling. You just said it, they're averaging 3 yards a play, and that was an easy 12-yard gain there. That's the kind of mistake that a losing team makes that just makes it very difficult to get out of that rut.
Cornelius 1 for 3 in the game for 16 yards. They need 10 here on second down to keep this drive going. Elks on their own 35-yard line. Cornelius back to pass, nobody open, so he rolls to his right and misses the intended target, Mike Jones. So 2 straight incompletions, and the punting team will come on for the Elks.
Yeah, so you get the 1st and 10, and your wide receiver drops a very well-thrown ball, and Taylor Cornelius is trying to find some rhythm and find a drive, and then, of course, 2nd and 10, he overthrows his receiver. It's just not everybody can make a mistake every drive. It's a team like the Elks, and where they are right now, they really have to start having a little bit crisper execution to make a dent against this Hamilton team that's playing very soundly.
And of course, they traded away Trevor Harris. They traded for Nick Arbuckle, who is not active for this game. David Ungerer back to return this kick, and he gets across the 40-yard line. So again, pretty good starting field position here for the Tiger Cats. They lead the Elks 7-1, and we'll try to add to that lead when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats getting set to start this drive from their own 41-yard line, coming off a touchdown drive. They lead the Elks 7-1 in Edmonton. RJ Broadhead along with Luke Tasker. A little chillier game. It's around 0 with the wind, maybe -3, -4. But you mentioned that's pretty good temperature for football.
You know what? I don't mind that at all. You get warmed up, just below freezing, that's nothing. You're out there working and moving. So long as it doesn't rain, great football weather.
Raining in Hamilton. This game is in Edmonton. It is dry but cool. Jeremiah Masoli, lots of movement in that backfield. Tim White comes around for the handoff, the fly sweep, and he will get up to the 50, about 9 yards on that gain.
You said it before the game that we might see a little bit of the wide receiver group working into the run game. Very, very common. Tommy Condell has been doing this throughout the year. They did have success with Tim White last week against Ottawa. The thing I love the most about that play is just how quick Tim White gets the ball and gets out of the backfield. You really lose no time in that exchange. Another 9-yard gain there.
There's a handoff to Don Jackson. Only needed 1 for the first down, but he's got more than that. He gets about 8 yards on that gain. Another first down for the Tiger Cats. They're in Edmonton territory again.
Boy, they're staying pretty close to keeping that 10-yard play average right now. I mean, the Elks defense is having some significant struggle stopping just about any play that gets called right now. Some very good execution and some very efficient drives we've seen so far from Jeremiah Mazzoli and the Ticat offense.
Tiger Cats have had 6 first downs in the game. The Elks just 1. Mazzoli directing traffic. Weigel comes to the wide side of the field. Wobbly pass, might have been tipped. It still got to Brandon Banks. It was a throw out to the right. He was about level with the line of scrimmage, and then the yards after the catch. He'll be close to another first down for the Tiger Cats. Looks like he got about 6 or 7 on the play.
No, I always watch a wide receiver screen, and there's just so many things that have to happen to make that play get off. It's a hard throw laterally for the quarterback. You've got wide receivers blocking, and they're blind to the ball, and good gain of 6 there, but boy, it's a lot of work to get those 6 yards for a wide receiver screen, I think.
Tiger Cats on the Edmonton 46-yard line, 2nd and 4. 4 receivers to the boundary side of the field, and it is a handoff to Sean Thomas Erlington. Good to see him back. And he is close to another first down. They are moving the sticks, so it's a first down for the Tiger Cats.
Really impressive run game, and you're right. STE back in the lineup, getting a mix in there with Don Jackson, and another great run. Ticats leaning on the run game, and especially on the newly installed Don Jackson lineup here. And man, the time of possession and the control of this by the offense right now is really fantastic. 53 yards rushing so far.
And 63 yards passing for Jeremiah Mazzoli. We're still in the first quarter. Mazzoli passing again. It's a completion to Stephen Dunbar. He was hit hard by Tremaine Washington, but hung on to the football, and the Tiger Cats keep moving the sticks. They are almost to the 20. Looks like they'll mark it at the Edmonton 21-yard line.
Well, 2 things are going to happen if this pace keeps up. Hamilton's going to score about 60 points tonight. And also, this Elks defense is going to get exhausted. This is not easy to keep up with this pace and the mix of the run and the pass, and I'm just going to keep an eye on this average yards gained per play, because it's got to be pretty impressive still as we're moving forward here in the first quarter.
Looks like 4 receivers. They started out on the boundary side. That was some miscommunication for the Tiger Cats. Mazzoli was trying to change the play, it appeared, and he called timeout just as the ball was snapped.
Yeah,
so that
boy.
could have been a disaster. He got the timeout in, so that's the good news for the Tiger Cats, and they'll get reorganized here.
Yeah, Darius Sirocco did not hear timeout. The ball flew back and hit Jeremiah as he was looking towards the sidelines there, but still first and 10 here up at the Edmonton 21.
Tiger Cats in good shape, moving the ball again. Jeremiah Mazzoli, 5 for 6, 89 yards and a touchdown. Net yards in the game, Hamilton 144. And keep in mind, there's just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Already at 144 net yards. Edmonton is just 15. On the Edmonton 21, 1st and 10. 4 receivers to the wide side of the field, and just as the ball is handed off to Sean Thomas Erlington, flags fly and the whistles blow.
What is it? Procedure. Hamilton, number 54. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
The vet, Chris Van Zyl, a little too excited there on the what was going to be a handoff to Sean Thomas Erlington. Ticats now in, I guess, 1st and 15. Took a little steam out of this drive that was moving very quickly down the field.
Still not bad position on the Edmonton 26-yard line. 1st and 15, as you mentioned, Luke. And this is the usual 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. Sean Thomas Erlington still in there. He'll be blocking for Jeremiah Mazzoli, who is throwing, looking for the end zone, and it's incomplete. Brandon Banks was there, and he's got his arms up. Looks like he was bumped by Jonathan Rose before that football got there, but there is no flag on the play.
Boy, that is surprising to me. Jonathan Rose in no way had his mask turned back towards the ball and runs into... Well, we're taking another look. So the ball actually hits just Jonathan Rose prior to getting to Brandon Banks. Boy, in my opinion, that's just some good luck by number 0, Jonathan Rose there. I mean, as he sprinted towards Brandon Banks, the ball just hit him in the back, and then there was a collision with Speedy B. So looks like they might be.
Yeah, sorry, Luke. I thought the Tiger Cats might challenge, and it looks like Orlando Steinauer has the challenge flag out.
Hamilton is challenging the previous play of pass interference on their number 16. The play will be reviewed.
Well, I'm sure it's on number 0. Speedy B is number 16, but I don't know. Because I mean, what do you think here? Because the ball does hit Jonathan Rose prior to Jonathan hitting Speedy B. I actually don't. I could see a situation where this does not get overturned.
Well, I don't go against Coach O. He's 3 for 4 in challenges. Percentages say Tiger Cats will be right, but you have a good point. That is, I think you summed it up perfectly. That could be great luck for Rose.
Well, we'll see how the refs interpret this, because it's hard to say when exactly the contact begins. But Jeremiah Mazzoli, though, this is the throw that I think we see a lot more of now in the CFL, and that is giving your playmakers a chance to make a play on this deep ball, knowing that the downside really is an incompletion, and the upside either is a completion or what's so commonly a pass interference. And I don't know if they'll get it here, although Coach O seems to think there's a chance at it.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Yeah. Hamilton has charged their second timeout. They're out of timeouts and cannot challenge for the rest of the game.
Well, there you go. You get lucky on defense and on offense sometimes. That's just the way it goes. But
yep. Yeah, Jonathan Rose never looked at that football. He had no idea where it was. He was just heading right for Speedy B, and the ball hit him in the back before he made contact with Brandon Banks. So, drive continues. 2nd and 15 now from the Edmonton 26. Mazzoli going deep again, looking for the end zone again. Oh, Tim White catches it. It was tipped. He caught it. It's a touchdown for the Tiger Cats. How did he stay with that? The concentration of Tim White was excellent.
So that happens to be at the very spot of the field where Speedy B just or where the incompletion was just thrown to Speedy B and Jonathan Rose, and then Tim White gets the reception. I think it was hit. It bounced off his own hands, I believe, up into the air, and he was the one who was able to be in position to make a play on it. It was a combination of, his hands as well as Derek Moncrief. Great drive. 1st and 15. Fourth quarter last week, they put together a drive from 1st and 15 for a touchdown as well. So, boy, incredible resilience there to get 7 still, pending this kick after some penalties to stall that drive.
2nd touchdown of the year for Tim White, and Taylor Bertolette puts it again right down the middle. So it's 14-1 for the Tiger Cats, and we're still in the first quarter. 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Mentioned Stephen Dunbar, what a great find in addition to the offense he's been. Tim White, same thing.
Amazing, and I just love that they got Speedy B on a route that he wanted, and it didn't work out in the end zone, and Tommy Condell tees up the exact same route to Tim White to the same corner of the end zone a play later. Just great play calling and confidence. We saw a real aggressive offensive play call last week at Tim Hortons Field against Ottawa, and you're seeing it again tonight. We're seeing a very, very strong ground attack with the run game. Jeremiah Mazzoli is slinging it right now. Explosive pass plays. I think we at least have 3 so far in the first quarter.
Tiger Cats have done the short passing plays so well. Actually, Jeremiah Mazzoli has the best completion percentage on the short passes inside 10 yards, but last few games he's been going deep. Tim White has 2 catches in the game, 1 for 27 yards, 1 for 26 yards. And of course the touchdown, and a big lead here for the Tiger Cats in the first quarter, 14-1, and it looks like on the kickoff, this went out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Hamilton. First down, Edmonton at the 45-yard line.
Well, I like playing in the cold weather. The kickers sometimes don't love the cold weather, though.
Well, they're not moving around as much.
That's right, and they're Ferraris. They got perfect conditions are better. But that one obviously got away from Bertolette there. Jeremiah, he's got to be he's over the 100 straight attempt threshold without an interception at this point, and things are very much so rolling for the Ticat offense.
Yeah, I had 6 completions, so he's there. The consistent play of Jeremiah Masoli. 4 of his completions have been 20 yards or longer. And there's a handoff to James Wilder Jr. as the Elks are getting right to midfield. And it won't be quite enough for a first down. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and inches here.
2nd and inches. You know this is my favorite time to take a shot down the field. We'll see if the Elks agree with me.
I go back to James Wilder Jr. He has been a great asset for them this year. Not only great running, but he's one of their top receivers as well. So he's a dual threat, and he gets plenty on that carry for the first down.
Very hard to bring down, just a really strong runner, good speed, but he's just strong and shifty. And you see that first down for 9+ yards, he just runs straight downhill.
He's on pace for over 1,000 yards rushing. Came into the game 3rd in the league in play action. That gave Taylor Cornelius some time to make the pass, and it was in the hands of Darrell Walker. There was Carriel Brooks right there and knocked the ball away. It's incomplete.
Well, the Elks are doing it's not a hurry-up offense. They're running no huddle, but they're not moving as fast as they can. This is just a very controlled sort of muddle huddle type of offense here, and they're mixing in and out of it. They probably, I'm guessing, have a fairly limited call sheet this week, trying to get Taylor Cornelius very comfortable and allowing him to take a shot downfield right there, take a chance, and let a guy try to make a play.
Muddle huddle. I like it.
Do you like that?
Taylor Cornelius, this time he's going to hang on to it, and it worked out well. He found an opening, and he slid just before Jovan Santos Knox caught up to him, but it's a smart play by Cornelius. He gets the first down for the Elks.
Well, that kick out of bounds allows for a great start position on this drive. James Wilder Jr. kicks it off with an easy first down, and now Taylor Cornelius is put a few first downs together here, gaining a little momentum.
He was 1 for 5 for 16 yards. That rush was for 16 yards, and this is another drop by the sure-handed Greg Ellingson. Incomplete.
Another wide receiver screen, just like we've seen the Ticats set up tonight, and Greg Ellingson was to the wide side of the field. That is Cornelius' right side, and like I said, it's kind of a hard throw. From our vantage point, it seems to me like Taylor Cornelius put a little too much on it. That ball's coming in fast and at a weird angle. Ellingson couldn't quite hold on.
Edmonton's on the Hamilton 36. It's 2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the boundary side, but Cornelius rolls to his right, now back to his left. He's up to the 30. He'll be close to another first down as Cornelius has kept this drive going with his legs. That's the end of the first quarter. Elks starting to move the football, but it's the Tiger Cats who were strong to start this game. 14-1. Tiger Cats lead the Elks after a quarter. We're through a quarter in Edmonton, and the Tiger Cats lead the Elks 14-1. Start of the second quarter, Hamilton trying to make a stop here. It was 3rd and 1. Elks on the Hamilton 27, and Ted Laurent is saying they stopped the Elks here on the gamble. This will all come down to where this ball is spotted.
I don't know. It looked like Taylor Cornelius made a good push. Yeah, they're going to give it to him. They made a good push left of his center after the snap, and they put together a good drive here. A couple explosive plays, and Taylor Cornelius is operating decent level here.
They've actually put in Dakota Prukop, who did that short yardage, and they're going to leave him in. Cornelius,
oh, there you go.
He was running the ball well, but 1 for 6, passing the ball.
A few drops, though, in there, right? He can't put it all on Cornelius. I mean, that's interesting that they make the change this early.
Yeah. Oh, and a high snap. That's over the head of Prukop, and now he's just in desperation mode. He comes up with the ball, and will get that close to the line of scrimmage, but he didn't slide with it, and he was hit hard. Is that Simone Lawrence? We know Simone Lawrence has 1 tackle in the game. If he's credited with that one, that'll move him past Coach O for 18th all time.
And he was tackled hard. He was Prukop was just trying to make something happen to get back to the line of scrimmage after the ball flew over his head, but Simone Lawrence made him feel it for his efforts.
Cariel Brooks right there as well. 2nd and 11, so a good job by Prukop to get that almost back to the line of scrimmage, and Taylor Cornelius back in, and he's throwing for Ellingson, but there's Brooks again, a knockdown in that Hamilton secondary, and that is a big play for the Tiger Cats defense again.
Cariel Brooks, that's the second play tonight where I've just been so impressed by his ability to be patient, to not get himself in a bad position with his body in a way that could make an easy penalty, but to make a very, very strategic play on the ball and break up that pass. He has been at the top of the league for this season. He is at the top of the league for interceptions, but for pass breakups as well, he's just been absolutely expert.
Sean White coming on for the field goal. He's 11 for his last 11, and this one from 34 yards, and it is straight through, so the Elks get the field goal, and they still trail in the football game 14-4 early in the second quarter. But Sean White is about as automatic as you can get for a field goal kicker, one of the best all time. The Elks cut into the Tiger Cats lead, but the Tiger Cats will have their first possession of the second quarter when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats with 3 games remaining after this one in Edmonton, trying to make it back-to-back wins and stay in the mix for top spot in the East Division with Montreal and Toronto. So far, so good. 14-4, Ticats lead. Second quarter, Masoli back to pass. This one up the middle. It's caught by Tim White, and he's in triple coverage, but they can't bring him down. He's dancing around pretty much on that Elks logo at midfield, trying to elude tacklers and get a couple of extra inches. And he gets it up to the 53-yard line.
Great gain. Another gain of 16 or so there. The Hamilton average yardage per play tonight is over 11 yards. Jeremiah Masoli looking patient. The Elks brought a blitz there and still able to get a nice downfield throw off with great timing.
Tim White, 3 catches, 71 yards and a touchdown. Here's Tim White making 4 catches. This is the receiver screen, and he'll get enough to get it into Edmonton territory.
Another receiver screen there. Tim White, very patient, allowing his blockers to get in position and sort of bouncing back and forth behind, I believe it was Jalen Acklin out in front of him blocking, and a nice gain. Hard work, but a well-earned 5 yards there. 2nd and 5, past midfield, another great drive forming.
Jeremiah Masoli has completed his last 3 passes, all to Tim White. 3 receivers to the field side. Masoli checked down looking for Don Jackson. It was just a little too far ahead. He couldn't come up with it, so it's incomplete. And the Tiger Cats are going to have to punt.
With the success of Jeremiah Masoli tonight in this offense, we haven't talked about it too much, but the Elks rush has actually been pretty fierce tonight. Many times they brought a blitz, and Jeremiah had to get the ball out of his hand pretty quickly there. That check down throw to a running back is not an easy throw. As short as it is not an easy throw, and that was just outside of Don Jackson's reach.
First time Tiger Cats have to punt since their opening drive of the game. Joel Whitford from his own 45 just got that punt away. Terry Williams didn't have a lot of room to work. The kick came down around the 15-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. Likely no yards against the Tiger Cats. We'll take a break and be back. Just over 11 minutes to go. Second quarter, Tiger Cats lead 14-4 on the Ticats Audio Network. So the penalty before we went to break was holding against Edmonton, so that pushes them back to their own 10-yard line to begin this drive. Taylor Cornelius in there at quarterback. It's 14-4. Tiger Cats leading. There's a handoff to James Wilder Jr., and he went into the heart of that Hamilton defense right up the middle, and he will get about 5 yards up to the 15 or maybe the 16, depending on where they spot him.
Second penalty in the return game we've seen tonight. That's one for Edmonton and one for Hamilton, and terrible position for the Edmonton offense to start backed up. decent little chunk taken out there by James Wilder Jr. And 2nd and 5 gives him a decent chance to keep this drive going.
Elks on their own 16-yard line. 4 receivers to the boundary side of the field, and the quick pass to Greg Ellingson, and he's making something happen here. He's up past the 35, close to the 40-yard line, and the Elks get a first down.
Greg Ellingson has been doing this for a lot of years in the CFL, and he got the ball very quickly and bursts up the sidelines. He does that very, very well, taking what he can get and not wasting time getting vertical.
That's the 70th straight game with a reception for Greg Ellingson. That is a streak that dates back to 2016. Here's a handoff to Wilder Jr. Not much there, maybe a yard. Tiger Cats coming off that big win against Ottawa. They did not allow a touchdown. Haven't allowed the Elks a touchdown in this game either. We are in the second quarter, 9.5 minutes to go. 10-point lead for the Tiger Cats. Trying to make it back-to-back wins on the road. Interestingly, the last 2 wins for the Tiger Cats have both been against the Red Blacks. Pass out to the right. It is caught by Shai Ross, and now the Elks are looking a little more comfortable with their rookie quarterback. They're into Tiger Cat territory again.
Very good timing, well-thrown ball, and a mix of the run and pass that the Elks are showing now, same as the Ticats have been showing throughout the first half. But that was really a very beautiful pass there. I mean, really well placed to get past midfield now.
On the Hamilton 52-yard line. Defense bending a bit. They haven't broken very often this season. This handoff goes to Walter Fletcher, and he will get about 3 yards on that carry.
This would be the 3rd straight 2nd down conversion if they can get this. They've been chipping away on this drive, and an even alternation of running on 1st and passing on 2nd. Taylor Cornelius calming down, I think, a little bit from what we saw in the first quarter.
Absolutely. 2nd and 7 here from the Hamilton 49. Cornelius staying in the pocket, and the pocket closes. Lorenzo Malden was there. Ollie Carney was there, and Dylan Wynn looks like he's the one with a sack, and it might be his 2nd of the game.
That front 4 getting in there. Julian Hausar unable to participate tonight. Lorenzo Malden stepping in and in the mix there for that loss of, looks like 7 or 8 yards, and what is going to put an end to that drive. That's what the Hamilton defense has done in every game they've won. If the offense has begun to pull some momentum away, they come up big with a sack or an interception.
Yeah, that's huge. 2nd sack of the game for Dylan Wynn. David Ungerer on this punt return. Cut to the inside, then back to the outside, and he will get it to the 27-yard line. There is a flag on the play.
Don't tell me.
It's going to be holding. Hamilton number 39. 10-yard penalty,
Let's go to break.
First down.
All right, 14-4. Hamilton leads. You called it, Luke. We're headed to break. This is the Ticats Audio Network.
Penalties from the 18, past the distance.
This is the Ticats Audio Network. Streaming live to ticats.ca and the Ticats All Access app.
7 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the opening half. Tiger Cats lead by 10, and they are going to start inside their own 10 from the 9-yard line. Masoli back to pass, back to his own goal line, and he just got that pass away to Tim White. Looked like his forward momentum got him up to about the 20-yard line, which should be enough for the first down, and it is.
Really impressive by Jeremiah Mazzoli. The Elks again brought a very an effective rush there. Stayed in the pocket, made his throw, and great catch by Tim White up above his head as he was getting contact. for the first down.
All kinds of movement for the Tiger Cats in their backfield in front of Masoli, and he flips it to Brandon Banks, who heads off to the left. And another good gain for the Tiger Cats. They'll be right near the first down.
Yeah, Speedy B, a couple misdirections in the backfield with Jeremiah Mazzoli, but he actually shoveled it forward to Brandon Banks, who took it around the left side, the boundary side, and was able to get the edge for a 6 or 7 yard gain here.
Tiger Cats on their own 26-yard line. Brandon Banks up at the line of scrimmage. It's a quarterback keeper here for Masoli, who was eyeing the first down marker, and it looks like he got the first down.
Yeah, really cool play call there. Brandon Banks was lined up tight to Chris Van Zyl, the right tackle. Not a normal spot for a guy who weighs 140 pounds, so 150 pounds. That's not his normal place to be. And Don Jackson took a fake handoff up the middle as well, and Jeremiah Mazzoli took it around the left end. Interesting called quarterback run. Good first down.
Mazzoli's been doing a lot of that lately too, running. That worked. Fresh set of downs here for the Tiger Cats. Empty backfield, a throw to the left. It's a good catch by Stephen Dunbar Jr. and yards after the catch. Dunbar Jr. across the 40 to the 35, and finally the Elks are able to bring him down. Another huge play for the Tiger Cats offense. Stephen Dunbar Jr. Great yards after the catch to get this well into Elks territory.
Stephen Dunbar Jr. runs this route to perfection. He takes 3 hard steps down the field from the line of scrimmage to stop and come back to meet the football, really running right back at Jeremiah Mazzoli, and then takes off just with open speed down the sidelines for an enormous gain. Huge explosive play, and Jeremiah Mazzoli spreading it around. Everybody's getting a chance tonight.
44 yards on the gain, 43 of those came after the catch. Mazzoli is going to keep it again, running to his left, and he takes the hit from Tremaine Washington. Got across the 30-yard line, be a couple of yards short of the first down, but Mazzoli decided not to take a slide there, and he took the hit instead.
Did you notice on the long play to Stephen Dunbar Jr.? I mean, he's on a full sprint for 40 yards. The first Ticat to meet him down the field is Chris Van Zyl, the oldest player on the field, and one of the biggest guys on the field is just sprinting, following his guys, congratulating him after a play. That's why that guy will be a Hall of Famer and why he's such a good part of this team.
He was great this week, talking about how nobody's above anybody else. You do what you have to do to win, and he's the most outstanding offensive lineman from 2019. Tiger Cats will be marched back here.
Violation. Hamilton, number 8. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So time count violation on the Tiger Cats. And that will, looks like about 10 yards now for the first down. 4 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the opening half. Tiger Cats in Elks territory, looking to put on some more points here. It is 2nd and 10 from the Edmonton 35. Mazzoli's going deep. Got a receiver, Tim White, but it is knocked down by the linebacker, Derek Moncrief, who was there with Tim White, and Moncrief looked like he had a pretty good chance to pick that off, too. It goes incomplete.
Yeah, it's interesting. Tim White had a step to a sail route, which Jeremiah Mazzoli has already connected on to different receivers 3 times tonight. It actually, getting a look at it on the replay, it went right through Moncrief's hand, but that's always a hard catch to make when it slips through somebody's arms unexpectedly. Close to being another great throw, though. Have to settle for a field goal attempt for 43 yards now.
Taylor Bertolette's been good. He's hit his last 8 straight field goals, and this one is up, and it is good from 42 yards, they're calling it, and the Tiger Cats had some more points here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the opening half. It's now 17-4 for the Tiger Cats. Good opening half. They're putting up some big points. 32 points is the most the Tiger Cats have scored in a game. They've done it twice, both at home against Toronto on Labor Day and their last game against Ottawa. Off to a good start with 17 in the first half so far.
The best thing the Elks have done to sort of calm down the rush that was Hamilton's offense in the first quarter there was really just maintain the ball. They've just had better time of possession in the second quarter here, and has allowed the Hamilton offense to be on the field just a little bit less than they were in the first quarter. We'll see if they can put a dent into this 3-minute warning that we're about to hit here. Hamilton should get another chance to put a drive together after this.
Edmonton starting from their own 35. Taylor Cornelius. It's a handoff to James Wilder Jr., but Lorenzo Malden tripped him in the backfield, and that will be a minimal gain for Wilder Jr. Your guy, Malden.
Malden, my guy. We've seen him in the backfield once tonight. You got to think, this is a guy who took this trip out west. Julian Hausar was still potentially going to be starting today, this morning, and Malden gets the nod to step in, and he's already making a difference.
That's a big play on James Wilder Jr. They'll say he had a gain of 2, so it's 2nd and 8 from the Edmonton 37. And this play is whistled down. There's a flag.
Maybe a false start. I think Hamilton was bringing...
Offside. Hamilton, number 98. 5-yard penalty.
Well, you can't blame Dylan Wynn on that. He was going for the hat trick in sacks.
He was, and the Ticats defense, Mark Washington was bringing cover 0 there. Secondary blitz, everybody was coming. Dylan Wynn just a little too excited.
So 3-minute warning, 2 minutes, 58 seconds left in the opening half. It's a good half for the Tiger Cats. They're up 17-4. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Edmonton Elks continue to work. Time ticking down here in the opening half. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Cornelius with a handoff. And there is a flag on the play. Tiger Cats trying to prevent a first down. Looks like they did. It just depends what this flag is going to be.
I got to expect holding, but there's a lot going on where this play ended, where James Wilder Jr. got finally tackled.
Yeah, a lot of pushing and shoving.
Of course, you see Simone Lawrence in there.
Lorenzo Malden was in there. Dylan Wynn in the middle of things. Simone Lawrence, Jovan Santos Knox.
It is going to be a holding call against the Elks, which will take them back. Wilder Jr., it looked like he was getting close to the first down.
Yeah, he only needed a couple of yards. They haven't.
Holding. Edmonton, number 58. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
So you're right, Luke. It is holding. That'll move the Elks back. Be a big stop here for the Tiger Cats defense. Get the ball back, maybe put on some more points before the end of the half. 17 points in the first half. That's the most first half points the Tiger Cats have had this season. 2nd and 13 for the Elks from their own 32-yard line. Tiger Cats defense looks like they're communicating with each other, trying to get settled. Here's the snap to Cornelius. He's back to pass in the pocket. He's flushed out of the pocket, rolls to his right. The pass is caught and then dropped. Was it caught, though? That's the question. James Tuck had it for a moment. The ball popped loose. Cam Kelly picked it up, and now there's a flag on the field, so there's a ton to sort out here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. If it was a fumble, it happened very quickly. It looks to me, I get a feeling like they're going to call this an incomplete pass. I don't know what the flags are. Well, after the final whistle of the play, there's some more, I think some more nonsense going on, some pushing and shoving, whatever. But it looks to me like this might get called incomplete.
Stavros Katsantonis into the game, in on the hit, and yeah, it didn't look like Tuck had possession of the ball.
After review by the command center, the previous play is an incomplete pass. It's third down. There is a penalty on the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness against Edmonton number 58. 15 yards, third down.
So you're not supposed to get 2 penalties on the same drive. And Justin Renfro, the right tackle for the Elks, just combined for something like a negative 25-yard drive, or negative 25 yards solely on his own penalties there. Not great, especially when you're trying to find your rhythm here in the second quarter, but great position here for Hamilton to take over after this punt.
You're right, Luke. O'Neill punting from inside his 5-yard line. And here's David Ungerer. He catches the ball, runs to his left, and he's tripped up as he got to look like the Edmonton 50-yard line, but more flags on the field.
I think they're going to get Hamilton on a block in the back here. David Ungerer, the third, gets this return past the center line.
During the return, illegal block, Hamilton number 11. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So this would have been the drive start past the center line. Again, that's one of Jeff Reinbold's keys for his special teams to get once a game, to give the offense a chance to work on an arena field. On a 50-yard field, you're nearing guaranteed points at the start of your drive. But no, that will not be the case this time. They get pushed back to their own 45. Hamilton's already had 7 penalties for 61 yards tonight. You got to think that's going to be something they've got to get fixed going into the last stretch of the season.
Still pretty good starting field position for the Tiger Cats here late in the opening half. Handoff to Don Jackson, and it might be a loss of 1. Not sure if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Don Jackson earlier in the game was getting close to 10 yards a carry. He was well over 40 yards. This time the Edmonton defense comes up big, so they say no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Tiger Cats still on their own 45. Three receivers to the wide side of the field. Jeremiah Masoli watches Jalen Acklin in the waggle, throwing deep for Acklin. It's complete. He's inside the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Tiger Cats. Jalen Acklin, 3rd straight game with a touchdown. Huge play late in the first half for Hamilton.
Jalen Acklin winning on the go route at 2nd and 10. The drive is at risk of sputtering out, and he catches a 65-yard touchdown pass from Jeremiah Masoli. That is his first catch of the night also. Jalen Acklin's turning into the king of the second down. He's had 12 straight catches, all for second down conversions. That one was for a bit more than just a first down. Unbelievable play, stays alive and breaks a tackle near the goal line, and then does his Irish jig or whatever that is for his celebration. I love seeing it.
We're seeing it a lot lately. 3rd straight game with a touchdown, 4th of the season, tied with Stephen Dunbar and Sean Thomas Erlington for the Tiger Cats team lead with 4 touchdowns. That was a 65-yard play, and we're starting to get used to the Tiger Cats and big plays over the last few games.
Oh my goodness, you never know when they're gonna get an explosive play. This has been very, very impressive this first half with how many times they've got a 10-plus yard play. That was a beautiful seam route from Jalen Acklin coming down in the waggle to the left, to Jeremiah Masoli's left. Angles his stem right at the halfback, Jermaine Washington. And then just as he gets close enough, jabs his foot in the ground and gets out an outside release, and he's got the speed enough to win on those deep routes. You can really see some energy from Jeremiah Masoli. He is excited with how his offense and how his team is operating right now, and he should be.
Well, it has been fun for Tiger Cats fans. Jeremiah Masoli, what a first half. 12 for 16, 263 yards and 3 touchdowns. And again, has not turned the ball over. So almost to 300 yards passing in the opening half. Terry Williams Gets across the 30-yard line, and he's taken out of bounds there by Des Lawrence. And there's a minute 54 on the clock here, so it's not out of the realm of possibility the Tiger Cats get this ball back.
Not at all, and that drive took barely any time off the clock as it was. So see if the Elks can keep the Hamilton offense, off of the field. That's really kind of their best weapon right now, is to just keep the ball in their hands and prevent Jeremiah Mazzoli from throwing these strikes.
Our statistician Jeff Girodat just came up with this, Luke. You'll love this. All 4 receivers with a catch tonight have a reception of 20 or more yards.
I love that. That is amazing. Explosive plays and the turnover ratio combined to make that toxic ratio that they talk about. And if you're winning the toxic ratio, it is very difficult to lose a football game. Explosive plays, passes over 20 yards are a huge part of that. And Jeremiah Mazzoli is finding anyone and everyone to catch a deep pass today.
4-yard gain for the Elks on first down. It's now 2nd and 6 from their own 35. James Wilder Jr. pops through the middle of the Tiger Cats defensive line, and he'll have enough for a first down as he's close to the 45-yard line. Looks like they'll put it at the 43-yard line of the Elks.
Yeah, moves the chains. You can see it right there. There was not much open space for him to run that ball, but he just is a hard back to tackle, and he always seems to be falling forward.
Cornelius, hard pass, a low pass, and it's incomplete. Simone Lawrence, he threw a hit.
Wow.
And I didn't see who the player was, but he came back and tackled Simone Lawrence. It was James Wilder. So it was a low pass. He couldn't come up with it. Simone Lawrence's forward momentum, he ran into Wilder Jr., who then tackled Simone Lawrence. And flags are all over the place.
Yeah, that was one shove away from breaking out into an all-out brawl. It almost was. The pass was too low for James Wilder Jr., and just as he dropped that, Simone Lawrence came in for what would have been a tackle had he made the completion, but Wilder Jr. did not like that and got up and tackled Simone Lawrence after the play on the field. And that got everyone involved on the Elks sidelines, mixing it up, and it's calming down now, but boy, that was a little strange.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, where the running back tries to tackle the linebacker, but
I'm guessing that Simone Lawrence is going to get called on a late hit here. It's questionable. It didn't look terrible live, but
yeah, Wilder Jr. obviously didn't like it. He retaliated. I think every official's flag is on the field.
Yeah, they're going to have to sort out who they want to give this to, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see offsetting penalties.
There's a minute 28 to go in the half, and the Tiger Cats sideline is pretty much all out to the numbers near their sideline. So they've come onto the field. The flag's still on the field, and the officials conversing. You'd have to think Wilder Jr. is going to get something for that. Maybe
yeah,
Simone
absolutely.
Lawrence.
And then who knows what happened in the mix-up on the sidelines. There's probably a few flags that are going to be handed out for that. But yeah, not a great display. It's been, you can hear it in the ambient noise that we have from the field. That it has been pretty chippy and pretty loud. After the whistles tonight.
Yeah, it's a frustrating season for the Elks. 0-5 at home. They've lost 5 in a row. And the Tiger Cats are playing desperate football. They know first in the East Division is still a possibility. And they've had a big first half, leading the Elks 24-4. It has been one-sided. Still talking about the penalties. This will be interesting to see what they call here. The Elks need James Wilder Jr. in the game. He's such an important part of their offense.
Yeah, it obviously isn't. It's not clear. I mean, it's taken a long time for them to work through this. There is going to be a handful of offenses handed out, I'm sure.
Again, 1:28 to go in the half, and it's taken a long time for the last few minutes. Still an officials huddle right at midfield.
You know, in a minute and a half left too, the Ticats do stand a good chance to put together a full drive still. This should be, I'm thinking this should be, it'll be 2nd and 10. They haven't changed anything on the field yet, but I'm guessing this is going to be 2nd and 10. And a stop here would force the Elks into a punt position. Of course, I guess we're going to see how this shakes down if the ball moves, but wouldn't be surprised if there's offsetting offenses here.
All officials right at midfield, sorting this out, and the players continuing to wait. Tiger Cats, again, have come off their sideline up to the numbers at midfield. Not happy with what went on. Again, if you're just tuning in, Simone Lawrence hit James Wilder Jr. on an incomplete pass. It hit his hands. It was a low pass, tough to catch for Wilder Jr., and Simone Lawrence was going in for the tackle, and Wilder Jr. didn't like it, and he came back and tackled Simone Lawrence, and then mayhem ensued. Every official threw a flag, and they have been talking about these penalties for, it's got to be close to 5 minutes now.
We did just hear also Darius Sirocco, unfortunately, will not return to the game. Hamilton Ticats center. He had to leave the game last week against Ottawa as well. Obviously something he's struggling with that doesn't seem to be improving.
Well, hopefully he's okay. The other thing might be score, 24-4. It's a big lead for the Tiger Cats, and if he's not 100%, maybe this is a good opportunity to get him out of the game and heal up for the next one, because they're all big. Next one is a week from today at Tim Hortons Field against the BC Lions.
All of a sudden, the Ticats have some regular or short weeks stacked up. It seems like everything was a 12-day week early in the season. They're walking Jonathan Rose, I think, off of the field right now. The field corner for the Elks. We haven't heard official call yet, but looks to me like the night might be done for Rose.
Yeah, he's number 0 for the Elks. They're starting cornerback on the field side, and is Cam Kelly heading off too.
So, wow, they saw things I didn't see. I don't. Those are two names I didn't even know were in the mix there, but obviously things got tangled up, and you know, you see this so often too that rarely are the refs going to see a scuffle like that and just throw one guy out of the game from a team. You know,
right?
It seems to me like they're always going to pick a name from both sides and hand out punishment, but not lopsided punishment. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll get a look later. But Cameron Kelly doesn't seem to be fully convinced himself. He seems to me like he's by the look of him, he feels like a sacrificial lamb right now. Like he has to take the brunt of the punishment here. But
he's pleading his case to the officials as he's being escorted by them off the field. Here's the official call.
All the fouls happened after the play. We have major fouls on both teams for unnecessary roughness. Hamilton 21, 15 yards. Hamilton 0, 15-yard penalty. And Hamilton 11 is disqualified for spitting at an opponent. We also have Edmonton number 58, major foul for unnecessary roughness, 15 yards. Edmonton 32, unnecessary roughness, 15 yards. And Edmonton 0, coming off the bench, disqualified, 25 yards. All those penalties balance, it's second down.
Wow, that's some math by the officials. The penalties balance
out. Let's go.
Jonathan Rose, of course, it's the Elks offense that's on the field, and he's their cornerback on defense, so he's disqualified for that. And Cam Kelly disqualified for spitting, so they're out of the game. It's 2nd and 10. Edmonton on their 43. Play is resuming. It's a short pass to Fletcher. He's across midfield now into Hamilton territory near the 45. It's a first down and more, but there are more flags. This has been a chippy game, at least late in the half.
Yeah, did you notice Justin Renfro's name was in the mix again there?
Yes.
Boy, he's
After yards are gained, illegal block, Edmonton number 66. 10-yard penalty, first down, Edmonton.
Oh my goodness. So it's a mess of orange flags throughout the first half. I'm not sure, so this is gonna be
Illegal block after the yards were gained. So
still a first down there for the Elks. It was a really nice check down out of the backfield by Taylor Cornelius. Just 20 yards shorter than they intended to be.
So a minute 20 to go. Confusion on the field. The ball is moved back to the Edmonton 48. It's 1st and 10 for the Elks. Taylor Cornelius stays in the pocket, throws up the middle. It is incomplete. It was intended for Jalen Tolliver. He couldn't come up with it. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Katsantonis on the field and breaking up that pass. We saw him break up what would have been a catch for a first down earlier in the game for an incompletion, getting some time at free safety in place of Tunde Adeleke, doing a good job of holding the middle zone down tonight.
10 yards to go, 2nd down for the Elks on their own 48. The Tiger Cats are closing in, and Cornelius, he stayed up for a while, but his legs were tied up by Lorenzo Malden, and in came Jovan Santos Knox to make sure Cornelius couldn't get away. So a quarterback sack, another one for the Tiger Cats, and the Elks will have to punt, and there's over a minute to go for this Ticats offense.
We've talked about the Ticats penalties tonight, and the Elks in this second quarter have also just continued to hurt themselves on drives where they started to have big plays and brought themselves back again from penalties. It's kind of the story of this first half, and obviously culminated in that mess on the sidelines with 6 total penalties called.
Hugh O'Neill inside his own 30 with the punt. David Ungerer near side on the outside of the numbers, and he's brought down just past the 40-yard line, so decent starting field position for the Tiger Cats. Looks like they'll start from their 41 with 41 seconds to go.
Let's go.
Jeremiah Masoli going to try to get a couple of first downs here, maybe put some more points on the board before the end of the half. It's 24-4, Tiger Cats are leading. These last few minutes of the half have taken quite a while. We're still in the first half. 4 receivers to the wide side of the field, and that's where Jeremiah Masoli looks. He throws that way, and it's complete to Brandon Banks. Midfield, he is into Elks territory. Another big gain, got down to the 45. The ball popped loose at the end of the play. Jalen Ackland hopped on it, but I think Brandon Banks was down before that ball came loose.
Beautiful strike by Jeremiah Masoli. Speedy B running a deep 18-yard curl route on the seam. Prior to that play, I was about to say, you need 25 yards to get into field goal range, and Speedy B just on the dot got a 25-yard gain. Everything from here is extra to let this field goal a little easier for Bertolette.
High snap. Masoli quickly hands off to Don Jackson, and he gets close to a first down near the 35-yard line. 21 seconds on the clock. Looks like it'll be a yard short of the first down.
Still 21 seconds left.
Jeremiah Masoli calling a play. Another handoff to Jackson, runs to his left. He's got the first down and more. He's down to the 20, almost to the 15-yard line. So there's 5 seconds on the clock. And the Tiger Cats will bring on Taylor Bertolette and the field goal team to try to add 3 more points before the end of the half.
Boy, Jeremiah Mazzoli was going for 6 on that drive. Really impressive string of plays there, and they made it very easy for Bertolette here on what looked like a situation where they might get a chance to kick a long one. Now Taylor Bertolette gets a chance at a 25-yard field goal from the left hash.
Taylor Bertolette has the longest field goal in the league this season, 55 yards. This one is from 25 yards. And he continues to keep his streak going. He's 9 for his last 9. 2 field goals for Bertolette in the opening half. 27-4. There's no time on the clock, but there's lots of flags on the field again.
They're going to have to figure something out here for the second half. This kickoff's going to be moved forward or moved back one way or another. There are just flags everywhere, and I think both coaching staffs are going to be telling their guys at halftime, enough is enough. We got to play football and cut out the nonsense here.
By far the most points the Tiger Cats have.
Offsetting major fouls against Edmonton and against Hamilton happened after the play. The half is over.
Okay, so the penalties are offsetting. 27-4, 27 points. That's the most the Tiger Cats have had at a half this season. So it is a good first half on the scoreboard for the Tiger Cats.
Ticats Audio Network.
Tiger Cats big first half in Edmonton, 27-4. They lead the Elks. It is getting close to midnight Eastern time, so Tiger Cats fans, we appreciate you staying with us. It's a good game so far for the Tiger Cats, trying for back-to-back wins. RJ Broadhead along with Luke Tasker. Jeremiah Mazzoli, 287 yards passing in the first half. That's more passing yards than the Tiger Cats had in each of their first 8 games. So a very productive opening half, and for Edmonton, a comeback. Probably unlikely if their past this season is any indication. Just 4 quarters this year have they scored 10 or more points.
Well, Jeremiah just has to keep being Jeremiah and doing what he's done for the last 2.5 games. The most impressive thing to me about tonight, they've had 7 completions for 20 yards or more tonight. I mean, they're throwing downfield strikes. You mentioned it this week. It just seems like the Hamilton offense is a bit more aggressive. They are playing for wins on every drive.
They've been excellent, and they've been good in third quarters too. Over their last 4 games, they've outscored their opponents 29-0. Kickoff to the Elks, and Terry Williams brings it up to about the 33-yard line. So that's where Edmonton will start, from their own 33-yard line, to begin the second half. That is just a dominant third quarter over the last 4 games, 29-0. They had their best fourth quarter of the season against Ottawa. There was a lot of talk about those fourth quarters where they were being outscored. They changed that in the last game. They'd like to keep that rolling here in Edmonton, get out with the victory and stay in the mix for top spot in the East Division. Taylor Cornelius, play action to Fletcher. Jovan Santos Knox, who had 5 tackles in the first half, almost had a sack. Greg Ellingson the catch, brought down by Tunde Adeleke at the 39-yard line.
Well, great job there by Taylor Cornelius. That would have been a really disheartening way for the Elks to start off their third quarter. Jovan Santos Knox was very close to having what would have been a 10-yard loss of a sack, and Cornelius missed that tackle and made a 5-yard completion to Greg Ellingson to give him 6 yards, 2nd and 4 now.
Walter Fletcher's been in at running back. James Wilder Jr. has not appeared in the second half yet. Pass up the middle is caught inside the Elks 50-yard line, caught by Darrell Walker.
Continuing that not hurried pace, but a no-huddle offense here as they get to their own 50-yard line.
Cornelius again, play action to Fletcher, rolls to his right, another completion up the middle to Tuck. James Tuck makes the catch, and the Elks are moving the ball. That's another first down. They're into Hamilton territory now.
Yep, they're going to keep rolling. They really haven't been in a huddle very often tonight. Interesting how they use James Tuck in the passing game as well. He's been targeted already multiple times tonight, and that was for a very large gain there of almost 15 yards.
On the Hamilton 46 now with this fresh set of downs. Cornelius gets Tavon Smith in motion. Again, a lot of fakes, play action. It's another completion to Tuck, and another first down as he's inside the 35-yard line. Good start here for the Elks to begin the second half.
Yep, Tuck has that fullback tight end body type, and he started in the backfield and slipped out to the flat in the left, and Cornelius a really easy toss. Tuck had room to catch the ball, get his shoulders upfield for an easy first down. Ticats will need to come up with an answer for that. Too easy of a gain.
Now on the Hamilton 31, Cornelius had 4 completions in the first half. He has 4 completions on this drive. This is a handoff to Fletcher this time, and he is down to the 25-yard line, a gain of about 5 on first down. Elks looking at points on their first drive here. They're well within field goal range, down by 23. To begin the second half, they'd like more than just a field goal. Cornelius, 3 receivers to his left. Ball about in the middle of the field between the hash marks, and there's a knockdown. Jovan Santos knocked it down. There's a flag. Another flag. We had a ton of them late in the first half and early third quarter. Here's another call.
Offside. Hamilton, number 56. 5-yard penalty makes it a first down.
Jagera Davis offside.
Boy, again, penalties just have been a big part of this game on both sides of the ball. Both teams have struggled and have had far too many penalties, but Hamilton defense with a penalty there to keep Edmonton's drive here chugging down the field.
Combined 256 yards and penalties in this game. From the 20, Cornelius keeps, and actually that was Dakota Prukop in, and he keeps and gets a couple of yards. Maybe looks like they're going to spot it 1 yard on that quarterback keeper. And Cornelius comes back into the game.
It's this time right now in this drive that is the ID of the Hamilton defense to make a big play right here. For the first time, they have a second and more than 5 on this drive. A stop here to force only a 3-point score from Edmonton would be huge.
Going for it for the end zone, and it is over the head of Darrell Walker. It goes incomplete. And it looks like the Elks at 3rd and 9 are going to have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, Des Lawrence there and Katsantonis and the defensive secondary for Hamilton were maybe not on the same page. I actually think Taylor Cornelius had the touchdown throw there, and he really did overthrow Darrell Walker to the back, his right corner of the end zone. Edmonton settles for 3, and the Hamilton defense needs to take a breath and get their bearings before this next drive.
8-play drive to start the half, and Sean White comes on, and he hits his second field goal of the game. That's 13 in a row for him. Points for the Elks to begin the second half. It's 27-7 for the Tiger Cats. They'll have their first second half possession when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Second half in Edmonton, Tiger Cats about to begin their first possession. RJ Broadhead along with Luke Tasker. Tiger Cats have scored in their last 3 possessions to end the opening half. They lead the game 27-7. They have not given up a touchdown, 2 field goals and a single. Jeremiah Masoli at 287 yards, so he is very close to his 3rd straight 300-yard passing game. By the way, Brandon Banks will not return in the second half. Hamstring injury. So hopefully that's more precaution. The toss is to Tyler Turnowski, the rookie. It's a huge gain for the Tiger Cats inside the 30. So whoever the Tiger Cats put in, they always say it. It's the next man up mentality. And Turnowski, by far, his biggest play of the season.
Jeremiah refuses to have a receiver on the field who does not have an explosive reception tonight. Speedy B that's the first play he hasn't been participated in offensively for the night, and just like that, huge play to Turnowski for his first play in the game. Great throw again.
48 yards on that play to the rookie Turnowski out of Waterloo, and Jeremiah Masoli over 300 yards passing again. He's in the pocket, throwing again, and it goes incomplete. Intended for Tim White.
Yeah, errant thrower. I think it's possible that ball slipped out of Jeremiah's hands as he was moving up in the pocket to avoid the rush and to try to make a throw downfield to, I believe, Jalen Ackland. But so now it's 2nd and 10 after that explosive play down to the 33-yard line. We're in field goal range. We've seen Jeremiah throw a number of 30-plus yard throws tonight. Sorry, they're on the 27-yard line, actually. I don't know.
Even better.
I'm almost not going to be surprised if we see a touchdown right here.
Masoli back to pass. He's got to throw to his right, and he was under pressure. It was in the vicinity of Turnowski again, but it was over his head. Might have been thrown away. Pressure was coming to Masoli, but there is a flag.
I think Jalen Ackland hit his waggle a little bit too fast here. And
Offside. Hamilton, number 80. Penalties decline. It's third down.
They're going to decline that and force the field goal here.
Good eyes, Luke.
Got a bird to let it happen now instead of get that Jeremiah Masoli touchdown that I was hoping for.
Bird will let it happen.
Yeah.
I like it. He's 2 for 2 in the game. He's hit his last 10 field goals in a row. And looks like this one will be about a 35-yarder.
I think it's Turnowski gets the hold here after that explosive catch that he had.
So they're calling it a 34-yard field goal attempt. Turnowski, we know he's got the good hands, and Bertolet, and he missed it to the left. So Bertolet had plenty of leg, but just missed to the left, so the field goal is no good. And that's his first miss in his last 11 attempts. Welcome back to the Ticats Audio Network. It's 28-7 for the Tiger Cats in Edmonton. Their lone visit, their second last road game of the season. 5 Tiger Cats have had a reception in the game, and though that field goal Edmonton got in the third quarter is the first time in 5 games the opponents have scored on the Tiger Cats in the third quarter. And a handoff on the opening possession for the Elks, starting from their 35. Looks like they got 2 yards on that gain to Fletcher. Second and 8 from the Edmonton 37-yard line. Taylor Cornelius talking to the receivers to his right. He wants some motion from Jalen Tolliver, who faked to go to the boundary side, back to the field side, now going deep, and Des Lawrence in tight coverage with Darrell Walker. It's incomplete. Des Lawrence was with him stride for stride, and Walker couldn't come up with the ball, so the Elks are going to have to punt.
Looked like Taylor Cornelius was just going to pick a matchup and take a shot downfield there. They had 3 deep routes developing. Greg Ellingson to the far right, and chose to go choose the matchup against Des Lawrence to the far left, and really Des Lawrence had 2 steps ahead of that of his receiver, and just really great coverage by the Ticats secondary across the board.
Hugh O'Neill standing at his 25. He's going to kick the ball. It's not a deep kick. David Ungerer catches it on the near numbers and runs to the far hash mark and got about 5 yards in the gain, but ran way more than that as he was going laterally.
TV timeout.
Jeremiah Masoli and the Tiger Cats offense coming back on the field. When we come back, it's 28-7 Tiger Cats on the Ticats Audio Network. Third quarter action in Edmonton, 7 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. It is a 28-7 lead for the Tiger Cats. Jeremiah Masoli over his last 3 games, over 1,000 yards passing. The handoff goes to Sean Thomas Erlington. He breaks a couple of tackles. He's across midfield and gets to about the 52-yard line of the Elks. So a big run for Sean Thomas Erlington to begin this drive.
Absolutely beautiful run, and dodged a tackle after having already gained 12 yards. Jordan Hoover, the free safety, came up to make a play, and Sean Thomas Erlington always never gets tackled by when you think the play is done. But Edmonton brought a huge blitz that play, cover 10, and run right into it for a huge gain.
Jeremiah Masoli, this time back to pass. Quick throw out to David Ungerer, who fakes to the outside, cuts back to the inside, and gets a couple of extra yards out of it. He's down to about the 36 or 7 yard line.
Love to see it. David Ungerer has been filling in on the return game. Brandon Banks, we're told, will not return tonight, and David Ungerer handles the special teams duty for Speedy B, and then does a really, just a surprisingly, gain of 15 there, dodging a tackle after his catch, just doing a great job out there at the wide Z position.
6th Ticats receiver with a catch tonight, and there's a quick toss to Sean Thomas Erlington, who makes it now 7 Tiger Cats with a reception. That'll be a gain of, looks like, about 4 yards. So Jeremiah Masoli has used his full arsenal of weapons in this game. Out of need with Braylon Addison hurt, Brandon Banks out of the game. He played until late in the opening half. Just over 5 minutes to go, third quarter, 2nd and 6 here from the Edmonton 33. Masoli, he's going for it, looking for the end zone, just overthrown. It was David Ungerer, who was behind the coverage, but just overthrown a little bit.
I like the attempt. Ungerer had a step on the corner, Nafis Lyon to that side, but just a little bit too outside and over the top. Solely making sure to put it in a place where only Ungerer had a chance at it. Speedy B, Braylon Addison has a chance to break 100 yards last game, gets injured. Speedy B already had 60 yards in the first half and has to take off. The Ticats have to get somebody here has got to break that 100-yard threshold tonight.
Their leading receiver is Tim White with 86 yards, and we're in the third quarter. Taylor Bertolette, and that's another miss. Came on for a 40-yard field goal, and all of a sudden, after hitting 10 in a row, he's missed 2 in a row.
I think there may have been a bobbled snap or something wrong with the operation there. A miss kick from Bertolette.
It's another single, so 29-7. Tiger Cats still lead in the third quarter. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats, a couple of missed field goals in the second half. That last one was an odd one. Might have been a bad hold.
Yeah, hard to say what happened there with Bertolette. 2 misses in a row. We're not used to seeing that.
Yeah, he's been pretty automatic of late. Greg Ellingson catches this pass from Taylor Cornelius, and there's Ciante Evans with the tackle. And it'll be a gain of maybe 5. Jovan Santos Knox slow to get up, but it looks like he's going to be okay. He is up. And that is a gain of more like 8 or 9 on first down. Edmonton. This will be a quarterback keep, but it's not going to be enough. It looks like the Tiger Cats made a stop there. Stavros Katsantonis in on it. Simone Lawrence right there.
Yeah, they'll surely line up and do this again. It was a 2nd and a long one, 2nd and a 1 3/4 kind of situation, and now they're third and a foot or so.
So they're going to go for it again. Coming in under center. This time it's Dakota Prukop. And he will try to find an opening. He goes to his left. He doesn't get much, but he's going to get enough for the first down. Got about half a yard, and there was Jovan Santos Knox trying to pop the ball loose. But it is a first down for the Elks. (29-7). The Tiger Cats are leading the Elks. Third quarter, 3 minutes to go. Taylor Cornelius back in for Edmonton. Drops back, empty backfield. Now he's forced out of the pocket, gets away from Lorenzo Malden. Pump fakes. Now Dylan Wynn closing in, goes deep, and the ball just a little short for a diving Mike Jones, who had to come back for that throw, but Cornelius had to scramble to buy himself a little bit of time just to get that pass away.
And he did, and he made his way through his reads, escaped from the pocket, was about to check down to James Tuck, like he's done multiple times tonight, and probably a good idea. He held on to that and continued to buy himself time, just nothing going. That's all on the Hamilton defensive secondary. They're just tight coverage like they've been so often this season.
Now 2nd and 10 from the Edmonton 47. Cornelius waggle to his left. That's the boundary side, and he was intending to get that to Jalen Tolliver. He couldn't come up with a catch, and another incompletion, and the Elks punting unit comes on the field.
Great pass break up there. I think it was Simone Lawrence.
You had the Lawrence.
Well, he's been getting interceptions and scoring touchdowns all year. I'm mistaking him for those skill position guys
exactly.
out there. But great pass break up and forcing the 3rd and 10 punt situation.
Yeah, he has been hitting with some force in this game.
I don't think we'll ever go a game without saying Simone Lawrence's name, at least 5 times.
No kidding. Big plays every game. David Ungerer catches this punt at his own 20, gets across the 25 to the 26, and after the play, a flag flies.
That's on James Tuck, I think. Playing special teams and taking a lot of the snaps on offense tonight for the Elks, but I think he came in a little late there on the tackle on David Ungerer. Finally, a penalty on
major foul, unnecessary roughness. Edmonton number 49, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So now, for once, the Hamilton offense takes the field and moves forward from where they came to huddle, and that is a great feeling, I can tell you. That's a first down and a half that you don't have to work for.
I like that. I look over and you're smiling instead of those ones where you're shaking your head.
Not the angry Luke that you get so often.
Oh, yeah. Edmonton, 7 punts and 2 field goals in this game. Jeremiah Masoli out to lead the offense in the third quarter, late in the third quarter. Looked like he tried a handoff, dropped it, picked it up, and gets positive yardage.
Oh, my goodness. That's just... Jeremiah Masoli taking advantage of it. What could have been a disaster. It looks like he had a little option read with Don Jackson and tried to pull the ball out of Don Jackson's cradle there and went out on the turf, pounced right back up to Jeremiah, and for a 12-yard gain around the end. So, boy, lucky play there, and good job by Soli securing that after the drop.
Easy first down, just like they drew it up.
There you go.
On the Edmonton 53 now. First down, Tiger Cats. 3 receivers to the field side. That's initially where Masoli looked. Now he's in trouble, and the Elks are able to get to him and bring him down. It's Christian Rector who gets the sack for the Elks.
Yeah, the Elks front 4 had a jump on that play. They just brought regular 4-man blitz, and they got in there very, very quickly. Jeremiah almost about to escape the pocket, but too many coming.
First sack of the game for Edmonton. And that pushes the Tiger Cats back into their own territory now. On their own 49, it's 2nd and 18. Let's see what they come up with here. Masoli, a couple of steps back. Now he's under pressure again. Gets away from Rector this time. Now rolls to his right. Throws deep. He's got Dunbar there. Had to dive for it, but he couldn't make the catch. He dove, and it looked like he might have got his hands on it, but it was a tough catch to make. It goes incomplete, and the Tiger Cats will have to punt.
So there is a flag down in the backfield where Jeremiah was rolling. High chance this is a holding on Hamilton. Classic area for that.
Major foul, roughing the passer.
Oh, wow.
Edmonton number 9. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Matthew Betts roughing the passer, so the Tiger Cats do not have to punt. Instead, they will march into Edmonton territory. This ball will be on the Elks 46-yard line, and the Tiger Cats are threatening with points again.
How about this one? That was the 26th penalty of the game.
Wow. It feels like the 26th penalty of the game.
It does. I mean, what a huge impact that has had. The Ticats drive was just dead. And now it's 1st and 10 back across here's the 27th penalty of the game.
Yeah, another flag flies.
You got to be kidding.
286 yards in penalties coming into this infraction.
Offside. Edmonton number 9.
Oh, no.
5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's a tough back-to-back plays for Matthew Betts, and he's headed off to the Elks sideline now.
You get in that bad headspace where you know you just made a costly mistake and you want to make it right and get a tackle the next play, and then sure enough, you jump the snap. Boy, that is, losing teams make those mistakes consecutively.
Tiger Cats on the Edmonton 41-yard line. Handoff, and running up the middle is Don Jackson, carrying a few Elks and a few Tiger Cats with him. Gets down to the 35-yard line, and that's it for 3 quarters. So the Tiger Cats are moving, looking like they're in shape for some more points. They lead the Elks 29-7. Quarter in Edmonton. RJ Broadhead along with Luke Tasker. It's a 29-7 lead for the Tiger Cats. Net yards through 3 quarters. Hamilton has 478. Edmonton just 187. Also the 3rd straight game where the Tiger Cats have amassed over 400 net yards. Here they are to start the 4th quarter, and it's the Elks getting to Jeremiah Mazzoli. Antonio Simmons gets their 2nd sack of the game, and that'll push the Tiger Cats back a little bit.
Yeah, it was a great blitz. They showed 7 up on the line of scrimmage and didn't bring everyone, but they still brought 5, and the pressure through the 3rd quarter of this game, they've got a few sacks now and have hurried Jeremiah Mazzoli more times than that as well. Now they stunt that drive back to now it's 2nd and 18 or something. Really timely blitz by the Elks there.
Now on the Edmonton 43, looking like sure points. Let's see what the Tiger Cats can do. It's a completion to Tim White, and he gets up almost to the 40-yard line. And it looks like this will be another field goal situation. I think they'll try a field goal from here, wouldn't they, Luke?
Yeah, 47.5-yard kick. They're lining up for it now.
Taylor Bertolette 2 for 4 in the game. He's missed his last 2.
You got to give it back to him. Give him a chance to hit this long one. Hard to say what happened on the last miss, but you give your guy a chance to make a difference again and put points up on the board.
47-yard field goal attempt. Taylor Bertolette, this time plenty of leg and great accuracy too. He hits it. So from 47 yards, Taylor Bertolette gets the field goal and puts another 3 points on for the Tiger Cats. Now it's a 32-7 lead. Early 4th quarter. Tiger Cats, 3rd time this year they've got to 32 points. They have not scored more than that in a game, so they've tied their highest season output again. And it looks like Taylor Bertolette's walking a bit gingerly on the sideline. Hopefully he's okay.
I think he might have taken a little bit of a hit after the miss. 2 field goals. Oh.
Cornelius with a pass that was tipped, and it goes to Greg Ellingson. And he takes that to midfield, and it's a first down for the Elks.
Yeah, that's not an easy catch to make. The pass got bounced off of some hands or a helmet at the line of scrimmage from Cornelius, but yeah, Greg Ellingson able to keep his eyes on it and get upfield.
Simone Lawrence got a hand on it. Now on the Hamilton 54, Cornelius. Delayed handoff to Fletcher, and that did not fool Simone Lawrence. So he got a hand on the first pass that went for a completion. This time he catches Fletcher, and that'll be a loss of a couple on that play.
Right at center field here, 2nd and long. It's time for the Elks. There's no holding back anymore. They're going to be taking shots downfield for the remainder of this 4th quarter. Won't be surprised if we see Greg Ellingson with some long attempts tonight.
Pass off to the running back Fletcher, and he works his way across the Hamilton 50, but it won't be enough for a first down. Still about 4 yards short.
Offense is staying on the field right now. They're setting up for 3rd and 6. Cornelius is still behind the ball at the line of scrimmage here.
So you're right, Luke. They have to go for it. 11 minutes to go in the game. There has not been a turnover tonight. Tiger Cats trying to create one on downs here. 3rd and 6 from the Hamilton 50. Cornelius, empty backfield. He's under pressure. Nobody open. He's scrambling. Throws to his left and very nearly picked off by Ciante Evans. It goes incomplete, and that would be turning it over on downs. However, there is a flag.
In the offensive backfield.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Hamilton, number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Simone Lawrence has been in the middle of everything tonight.
Middle of everything, and now he has surpassed Orlando Steinhauer to be the 18th overall most defensive tackles by any CFL player in the history of the league. Unbelievable career and a spectacle of a game tonight. He just committed the 28th penalty of the game, by the way.
And they just keep adding up. Over 300 yards and penalties in this game. Elks, they're on the Hamilton 35, fresh set of downs. Cornelius was looking deep. Instead, he goes with the check down to Walter Fletcher, who's across the 25. And that'll be another first down for the Elks.
Tunde Adeleke on the tackle in the open field there, and 300 yards and penalties. I mean, it's just how costly. And I probably sound like a broken record now, but that does not include that hidden yardage that I always talk about, RJ, that just grinds my gears. There's all kinds of plays that have been left on the field because of those 5-10-yard penalties.
The good news for Tiger Cats fans is they lead 32-7. Cornelius, a couple of pump fakes under pressure, and finally is brought down by Malden, but he did get the ball away. He was out of the pocket. It goes incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Hamilton 24.
You know, I kind of like the way that Taylor Cornelius has been handling this game. He's on a team that's struggled all year. He's taken over his 0-3 on this team right now, trying to turn things around. But he's not forcing things. He's trying to keep plays alive. He's making time with his legs and getting out of the pocket when he needs to. But he's not forcing things. He's not turning the ball over. He's just waiting for his guys to be able to get in position to make a play.
He's 6'5", moves pretty well. He's got a good arm. Out to the right. That's a completion to Tanner Green. And he'll be inside the 20. So it'll be 3rd down and about 4 or 5 yards. And it looks like the offense is staying out there. So they're down 32-7. They need more than a field goal, and they're going to go for it again on 3rd down. 3rd and 4 from the Hamilton 18. 4 receivers, the wide side of the field. Fletcher in it, running back. We haven't seen Wilder Jr. in this second half. The throw is complete. It's a first down. Ellingson trying to get the touchdown, and no call from the official. Looks like he's down just short of the goal line. But a big play, Cornelius to Ellingson. for a first down, and now it'll be first and goal from, looks like inside the 1, maybe the 1.
Jamal Roll stepped up to make that tackle, tried to strip the ball, and then, boy, Greg Ellingson is not easy to take down like that, but great job by Jamal Roll to stop his momentum and force Edmonton to do it the hard way to get this touchdown.
Dakota Prukop in at quarterback. He's come in short yardage situations for the Elks. We saw the Tiger Cats come up big against Ottawa near the goal line, but this time Prukop is in. It's a touchdown for the Elks. Dakota Prukop is able to follow that offensive line and cash in from a yard out, and it's the first touchdown of the game for Edmonton. And if they get the convert, it'll be 32-14. They're going to go for 2, so they're hoping for 32-15. It's right now they're at 13 points. They need all the points they can get. So 1-point convert they don't want. They want the 2-point conversion. Ball on the 3-yard line for this 2-pointer. Cornelius back in at quarterback. 3 receivers to his right. Immediately looks that direction, and the ball may have been tipped. It goes incomplete, so they don't get the 2-point conversion. It is 32-13. Tiger Cats lead. A rare touchdown against this Tiger Cats defense. 7 minutes, 52 seconds to go in the game. Tiger Cats leading 32-13. The offense has been very good. We've talked a lot about that.
Pass
Here's the penalty.
Hamilton number 2 will retry the convert at the 1-yard line.
Wow. Okay, so Edmonton, before we went to break, was going for a 2-point convert, and Tunde Adeleke is taking a pass interference penalty, so we're back to the 2-point convert, and it'll be from the 1 this time. So let's put a pause on that 32-13. The 2 points still up for grabs here for Edmonton.
Yeah, so they're trying to, with this convert, they'd put it to a 17-point game. So I guess, you don't have the option to make this a 2-score this, but, you put yourself in a position to go touchdown, field goal, and you don't have to make another 2-point convert after this. If the Ticats don't score and all that, there's a lot of extenuating circumstances, but I think it's a good decision and a interesting second try they get here.
Dakota Prukop, who got the touchdown in short yardage again, and he's trying to bring it in from a yard again, and he does. Again, just barely. But Edmonton gets the 2-point convert, and it is 32-15, a 17-point lead for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, they stepped up to the line quick and got a really good push. I mean, that was really a 3-yard gain there on that quarterback sneak. So 17-point lead for the Ticats, and Jeremiah Mazzoli gets to take the field again.
The defense gave up a touchdown, but they have been good again. Jovan Santos Knox, 8 tackles. Tunde Adeleke and Lorenzo Malden, 5 tackles. They've sacked the Edmonton quarterbacks 4 times. So the Elks are able to crack this defensive code that the Tiger Cats have been able to put up for so long. First time in a couple of games they've allowed a touchdown, but it's still a comfortable lead for the Tiger Cats. And fourth quarters, we know, have been an issue, so comfortable, maybe not the best word to use. It's never comfortable.
Yeah, and you get the fourth quarters against a team like Edmonton that's struggling when you have the lead. Well, now they're playing American football, right? They get 3 downs every drive to get that first down, because they're just going to risk that. They're gonna be aggressive, and they're gonna give themselves an extra play to move the chains, and so the defense has to work a little bit harder to end each drive. It is hard. It is a hard job to do when you have a lead like this, and that risk tolerance of the offense you're facing increases.
Tiger Cats offense has been able to move the ball. Jeremiah Masoli, 17 of 24 for 357 yards. So another big game for him. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and that'll be the key on this drive for the Tiger Cats. Take some time off the clock, get a couple of first downs, and keep the ball, let the time tick away, maybe get some more points. Still no 100-yard receiver for the Tiger Cats.
Boy, unbelievable. This is Jeremiah's 3rd straight game with 300 yards and not once. I mean, it really goes to show how much the variety of the passing offense and how many different weapons there are. Jeremiah's got a lot of different options, and not one guy has really stolen the limelight for these last games.
7 players have caught a pass for Hamilton, so Jeremiah Masoli has really mixed it up. Tim White, the leading receiver, with 89 yards in the game. He has a touchdown. Stephen Dunbar has a touchdown. Jalen Anklin has a touchdown for a 3rd straight game. 7 minutes, 32 seconds to go, and Edmonton will kick off to the Tiger Cats. So half a quarter left. Tiger Cats leading by 17. Sean Thomas Erlington back to return that kickoff. He gets across the 30, close to the 35, and he was never brought down. The pile just moved him back, and his forward progress was stopped, so the whistle is blown. And it looks like they'll put the ball at the Hamilton 31-yard line to begin this drive.
Just like we discussed on, defensively for the Ticats, they're facing now an Elks offense that can take all the risks they want. They're really pulling out all the stops. Well, the return team set up there in a prevent formation too. You have to look out for a fake, an onside kick or some trickery in the kicking game as well. It's just time for a team like Edmonton to take some risks.
Masoli hands off to Don Jackson. He breaks through the first wave of defenders and gets up to the 40-yard line. About a yard, maybe 2 short of the first down, so a gain of 8 on first down.
Don Jackson has just a fantastic burst when he gets through the line of scrimmage. He really eats up those yards to that first down marker very quickly here and in a straight line. I mean, he hits the ground running and does not get tackled easily.
Tiger Cats are up by 17, but here's a surprising stat. Edmonton has had possession for 5 more minutes than the Tiger Cats in this game. Another handoff. And Jackson able to get the ball across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. That's a first down for the Tiger Cats.
The second half really has felt like that, hasn't it? They've been able to string some drives together, and it's just been not overly exciting. The Ticats offense, on the other hand, has just eaten up so many yards so quickly that they really haven't had the ball for that long, actually, right? They've just been driving down so fast. Edmonton has really maintained the control of the clock, especially in the second half.
Tiger Cats have control of the score, and that's what matters. Everybody to the right of Jeremiah Masoli. Nobody was off to the left. It's another handoff to Don Jackson, who gets 3 yards on the carry. He's up across the 45-yard line to the 46.
A little bit more conservative in the play calling here. A lot of runs. Don Jackson getting the ball a lot. Leaves the field now for a break. Stays in the huddle, actually. Receiver change there, but a couple runs in a row. Now they're dealing with 2nd and 7. Expect to see Jeremiah look downfield here.
Hamilton has 147 yards rushing in this game. That's a season high. Masoli in the shotgun. You're right, Luke. He's going deep. He had Unger. No, that's Stephen Dunbar. He can't come up with it, but there's a flag on the play, and this looks like it's going to be pass interference against the Elks.
Yeah, Nafis Lyon, boundary corner for the Elks. In my opinion, it's a good decision for him to draw that flag, because that would have been a huge gain.
Pass interference. Edmonton number 24. Automatic first down.
Steve Dunbar Jr. might have caught that in stride had he not tugged a little bit on the jersey. Great throw and great route by Dunbar, who got a nice step just off the line of scrimmage and great speed.
So many weapons for Jeremiah Masoli. Tim White, Dunbar, Jalen Ackland's had a big gain for a touchdown. Three receivers to the boundary side, but it's a handoff to Don Jackson, and a pretty solid gain on first down here for the Tiger Cats. Looks like he got 6 on that kicker. Four and a half minutes and ticking down. That's all that remains in the game. It's a 32-15 lead for the Tiger Cats. And Don Jackson getting close to 100 yards rushing. 94 yards in the game. Tiger Cats haven't had a 100-yard rusher this season. Another handoff. Don Jackson trying to get to that first down marker. And he's going to be close, but this ball might have popped loose.
Edmonton saying they've got it. Might have popped loose late as Don Jackson was being brought to the ground close to the first down marker. Common time for that fumble when you know you're close to the yardage that you need to gain and you're fighting for that extra yard. And no.
Yeah, we saw the replay. It does not look like that ball came loose until after he was down.
I like the mindset, though, for the Elks there. They were gonna,
That's right.
They were going to fake it till they make it all the way there. But that was not really even close. It was never out of the grasp of Don Jackson. It is 3rd and 1. I love it. Stay on the field.
It's been an aggressive Tiger Cats offense over the last couple of games. We saw it against Ottawa and here against Edmonton.
Edmonton.
So the Elks have called a timeout here. 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the football game.
Dane Evans came on the field here. It looks like they're going to set up for a
timer. Please reset the clock to 3:22.
Set up to get the first down and keep the offense on the field.
Dane Evans, I think this is the first time he's been in the game tonight.
I believe so, yeah. It's hard to pick a moment to take Jeremiah out
True.
of the game. He's just been operating so efficiently. Still another game so far without an offensive turnover here. In Ottawa, they did have a turnover on downs, which of course they're taking a chance at it now, of course. But Jeremiah's been protecting the football so well and making so many great throws downfield, but Dane gets a chance to get in the mix here.
Dane Evans comes in, he's under center. 3rd and 1 for the Tiger Cats, and he will run around the right end. He took a hit from Nafis Lyon, but gets the first down and gets the job done. Clock running, fresh set of downs here for the Tiger Cats.
You know, not even for the points too, RJ, but you mentioned the time of possession here, and that first down is just so comforting for the defense. They don't have to go on the field and try to defend this entire 3-minute warning, which takes forever, as we all know. They get at least another set of downs here for the Hamilton offense to eat up a little time.
So on the Edmonton 16, a handoff to Don Jackson, breaks through the 5, touchdown! Don Jackson, over 100 yards rushing and tossing a touchdown as well.
Great play. Boy, he comes downhill so fast. Jordan Hoover stepped up to try to make the tackle before the goal line, but too much speed and quickness there for an open field tackle. Incredibly hard to bring a guy like Don Jackson down in a situation like that. And that is the points that's going to put this thing significantly out of reach at this point.
Don Jackson having a big game. 15 carries for 114 yards and a touchdown. This is the best offensive output for the Tiger Cats this season. 38 points right now and an extra point waiting. Taylor Bertolet is there, so even though he was walking a little bit gingerly after that last field goal, he's on the field and looked very strong. No problem, convert right down the middle.
I think the kicking unit for the Ticats may have let this clock run out.
Yeah, there's 0 on the time clock. There is a flag. Been a lot of discussions with the officials.
Violation. Hamilton. It's a 5-yard penalty. Retry the convert. Timer, please put 2:36 on the game clock.
Okay.
2:36.
So that's exactly what happened. Trying to run the clock down, and they didn't get the snap off in time.
You know, sort of a somewhat harmless penalty there. I mean, Burlette now just has to make it 5-yard further for this extra point, but just the theme of penalties tonight is mind-blowing. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. We have to be at 30 penalties by now.
Yeah, it's been a lot. You've never seen that many, eh?
I mean, I'm not keeping count.
Yeah, you maybe blocked it out if there was.
You know, the 6 on the one play for the crazy scuttle that we had in the first half there, that's you know, a little unusual, but still, I mean, 30 penalties, oh my goodness.
The convert's good, so it's 39-15 for the Tiger Cats. 2:36 to go. We will be back on the Ticats Audio Network. 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the game. Tiger Cats leading 39-15. Over 500 yards in offense for the Tiger Cats. First time all season they've gone over 500 yards. 39 points is the most they've scored. Edmonton has 248 net yards and 190 yards in penalties. That is crazy. So a short kick, and that is fielded by Thibaut Debaille, and he'll get up near the 40 for the Elks, and they'll start this drive with 2.5 minutes. Getting late here in Edmonton. It's late for those watching the Eastern Time Zone too. 12:45 a.m. But if you're a Tiger Cats fan, it's good. 39-15. They lead the Elks. Edmonton with possession. And it looks like the Tiger Cats are going to get to that 6-win mark. Both the Alouettes and Argonauts are in action tomorrow, so that's big games for them. BC in Toronto, Saskatchewan in Montreal. A completion here for Cornelius. He hooks up with Tevon Smith, and it's a first down for the Elks, and they're getting close to midfield. Chilly night in Edmonton. Around 0 with the wind, maybe -3, -4. Weather's not going to get better in Canada in November. Cornelius completes the pass.
Great tackle here by Ciante Evans running down to close the gap, but 2 completions in a row, one for 10 yards, one for 9 yards. It always seems to, offenses start to always have success when they start pulling out the stops and just really throwing downfield passes at the end of these games.
Mike Jones caught that pass. Cornelius throwing deep again, and another connection. This time it's to Jalen Tolliver. And the Elks are playing fast, and they're moving the ball. They're down to the 30-yard line of the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, they've picked up the pace to their no huddle, which they've run all night. Now they're actually operating at a time-efficient no huddle pace here, and we've got a good step on the Hamilton defense right now, who's showing cover 0.
3 receivers to the wide side, and open is Greg Ellingson, who makes the catch, and he's down to the 20-yard line, and that will be very close to another first down.
Taylor Cornelius he's not holding on to the ball very long. He's making a read and getting the ball out of his hand, and that's 4 straight completions there on this drive. They've marched down the field.
2nd and inches, and Cornelius is throwing, completes it to Ellingson, and he's down to the 1-yard line. Maybe they'll spot him at the 2-yard line, but the Elks going to be 1st and goal.
Prukup coming on. Still 2 yards to go. They're not in a true quarterback sneak position yet, but it is first down. Could take 3 shots at it here with Prukup, or might see some trickery of some sort.
Not a favorable spot for the Elks. Looked like Ellingson was closer to the goal line than that. Between the 2 and 3 yard line, Prukup under center, and he's going to try to move that forward, and I don't think he got very much. Certainly didn't get to the end zone.
1:15 left on the clock. You know, of course, Edmonton's going to give it all they've got here. A touchdown and a single in puts it to 18-point lead for the Ticats. get 2 for a 17-point lead. But out of reach, but still a successful drive that Edmonton just marched right down the field at will with 4 or 5 straight completions there.
Playing fast, they made it look easy. Ellingson, big part of it. He's over 100 yards receiving in the game. Second and goal. Prukop in again, trying to find an opening to his left, and he didn't get it. He's short again.
Well, Simone Lawrence met him at the line of scrimmage, and Tunde Adeleke was pulling his waist from the offensive backfield, and they made the stop. So the Elks have one more chance at it here, but Hamilton defense never going to make it easy.
No,
never.
So good in these short yardage situations. One last crack at it from the 1-yard line. Third and goal for the Elks. Cornelius on the sidelines. Much better in the second half. Only had 71 yards passing in the first half. 180 yards in the second half. Last crack at it for Prukop. Goes straight ahead this time, and he gets it this time. It's a touchdown for the Elks. And they're putting some points up late on this Tiger Cats defense. That'll be interesting statistically because the Tiger Cats have a fairly big lead, but when you look at those points per game, it's probably going to take the Tiger Cats back a bit. They've came in second in the league with 16.9 points against per game. Elks have 21 points, and they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, it skews all those stats, right? And of course, they just tack on another 70 yards for their passing offense. The Elks did, but yeah, I mean, it's coming at a time where, undeniably, the Mark Washington's defense is in full-on prevent and avoiding a big play, but it only takes 4 medium plays to turn into a touchdown.
That's right. Cornelius. Hands off, and Fletcher gets in for the 2-point conversion. So it's 39-23. 16-point lead for the Tiger Cats with 44 seconds to go. Tiger Cats, 39 points. Biggest offensive production of the season. Jeremiah Masoli, 3rd straight game with over 300 yards passing. Another 3 touchdowns added to his totals. Over 500 yards net offense for the Tiger Cats. And this is going to be a 2nd straight win. Get them to that important 6 wins. Get them above 500. And put the pressure on the Alouettes and Argonauts tomorrow.
Yep. For tonight, the 3 leaders in the East will be tied at 6 wins until Montreal and Toronto get a chance to tack on another one for themselves. All of those wins are making a crossover scenario in the East less and less likely. If all 3 of those teams get to 7 wins, it is impossible for the crossover to take place, and they're all chasing them down rapidly as these weeks progress.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
So they were trying an onside kick, and
there's no play on the field. The play wasn't whistled in.
Okay, the play wasn't whistled in. That explains it. So there's been a lot of confusion, even the players on the field.
44 seconds.
Sean White, he had his arms up.
Yeah,
he didn't know what was happening.
With that 2-point convert, they did finally push this to a 2-point game. I mean, they have to get
2 possession.
A 2-possession game. Excuse me. Get 8 points twice, but they battled their way back. They did have the ball for much of the second half. Hamilton, the most points scored by their offense and their team all year, but Edmonton was at least able to calm down the rapid-fire offensive attack that was the first quarter. And
yeah, Tiger Cats looked really in tune. Onside kick attempt, and Jalen Acklin goes up and catches it, holds on to it. So the Tiger Cats will begin this drive inside the Edmonton 50-yard line.
Unbelievable. Still no 100-yard receiver out there. And I'm hoping Tommy Condell lines up a play for Tim White to get his 12 yards that he needs to break that threshold, although I doubt it.
43 seconds, 16-point lead. Jeremiah Masoli has Don Jackson to his left. It is a handoff to Jackson, and he cuts to the right. Don Jackson continues to have a big gain. That'll be about 8 yards on first down. He's over 100 yards rushing. First time the Tiger Cats have had a 100-yard rusher in a game this season.
He does add an aspect to this offensive attack that is just speed and aggressiveness upfield quick in the run game, and I can't tell you, as your wide receiver, it really does help your game progress, help the passing offense when you have a strong running attack. The offensive linemen are able to block better. It just is such a relief when you can get those yards, and this has been the most productive run attack for the Ticats all year. Now the best play in football, Jeremiah Masoli gets to take a knee on the field.
Yes, and the clock winding down. Tiger Cats 39-23. They go to Edmonton, second last road game of the year. Their final road game of the season, regular season, comes against Toronto on November the 12th, and that's it. One more knee for Jeremiah Masoli. It's a win for the Tiger Cats. They improved to 6-5 back-to-back wins and 2 decisive wins. The offense really starting to move the ball, score some points, get those big plays. 120-yard rushing game from Don Jackson. A lot of things to like again from the Tiger Cats tonight, Luke.
Yeah, and it's kind of what we had been talking about all week on the Ticats audio network. It's what we were all expecting. It's Jeremiah Masoli is back in that form that he left the season in 2019. Just at the top level of the league, he is playing excellent football right now, and it's what we had all expected. But it's what is expected of this team right now. The Elks have been struggling, and you want to keep a losing team losing. They did it well against Ottawa, and they did it well again tonight against the Elks. Now it's time to go and take these last 3 games of the season still in control of your own destiny. It will be very interesting though to see what happens with Montreal and Toronto through the rest of this weekend. But the Ticats are gearing up and playing their best football right now at the most important time of the season.
Tiger Cats above 500 for the second time this year. They haven't won 3 in a row. They'll try to do that next Friday in their next game when the BC Lions are at Tim Hortons Field. 3 games remaining in the regular season, and first place in the East Division still realistic for the Tiger Cats. We appreciate you sticking around tonight, this morning, if you're in the Eastern time zone. Tiger Cats with a 39-23 victory. Post-game coverage is coming up next for our statistician, Jeff Girardat, our executive producer, Dave Cadeau, our technician, Michael Steyer, and, of course, Luke Tasker. I'm RJ Broadhead. Thanks for listening to Hamilton Tiger Cats football on the Ticats Audio Network.
Ticats Audio Network.